Hey guys, be sure to like and subscribe. I want to do a video today about how to be successful as an expat. And by that I mean for the newbies coming over here and everything, what you got to do to prepare and stuff like that, and what you should have ready. This is a big one because when you come over here, it's kind of difficult to get ready. You know, like when you get here, when your feet are on the ground, you're like, oh, what do I do next and stuff like that. And you have to be well prepared before you come here. Okay, and that's a big thing, because I see a lot of expats come over here, they're unsuccessful, they become poor, they lose money, they get scammed, they take a lot of bad advice from people about investing money and putting money into a sari store or something like that, and these things are just not profitable over here. And starting a business over here, I do not recommend it to anybody because most of them fail, and it's kind of like in the United States, a lot of businesses fail, but the failure rate over here is much higher. But that's one of the things I wanted to get into is don't get taken by things like that. To be a successful expat over here, though, you're gonna need health insurance. Okay, you're gonna need income, whether it be from a pension, social security, whatever. You can also have a job over here doing the TEFL thing, teaching online. Before you do the TEFL thing, don't just come over here and think that you're going to start using your TEFL certificate over here. You do it, you get your TEFL certificate back in the United States and think that you're going to come over here and just start it up right away. It takes a little while to get it going, and you have to have the money to get there. I highly recommend that you start it back in the United States so that you know you're going to be successful over here. Get all your students and everything started in the United States, or get started online and know how to use it in the United States before you come here. Okay, if you're going to do like a TEFL or something like that. Teaching online takes a little while to get started up. It's not like 1, 2, 3 and boom, you're going. Okay. Also, I would have a backup. I'd have some backup money and emergency money. I recommend that everybody have on hand at least $10,000 in emergency money. God forbid something should happen. Okay, but I also recommend you go through some of the insurance companies like Pacific Cross or whatever around here, and at least get some sort of health insurance over here to use. God forbid you should become sick or whatever. Okay, it's highly recommended you get health insurance over here. Okay, you got to have something to fall back on. You really do. I would recommend that you guys have life insurance and you have all your stuff in order, and when you get here you talk to somebody about what to do if God forbid you pass away or something like that. And I've seen expats pass away over here, and it can be a huge mess. So I also have a video on that. If you want to watch that, you can watch that and get a rough idea of costs and stuff like that. But you do need some sort of life insurance here, definitely. I've seen a lot of expats end up in the streets, okay, because of girls over here and scammers and girls that have taken their boyfriend's money. Their boyfriend thinks that they can't open an account over here, and in some cases they can't. And then what happens is they put it in the money that they have in their girlfriend's bank because they don't want to carry it around. They're afraid of carrying it around, and then their girlfriend just takes off and leaves them destitute in the streets. And I've also seen some guys have kids with Filipinos over here, and there's one guy up in Manila right now who has a 3-year-old, and I'm not sure if he's been helped or not yet. Matter of fact, if anybody knows about that, get back to me and let me know about that. There's a gentleman up in Manila. He has a 3-year-old daughter, I believe it is, and they both live in the streets because of the fact that something happened, and the wife left him with the kid because she wanted to move into another relationship, and she doesn't want a kid from the past. So she figures she wants to start fresh, so she dumps the kid with the guy, and now the guy's homeless in the streets, and he can't go back to the United States without leaving his daughter, and he can't take his daughter because she's not an American. She has no paperwork. He didn't go to do the proper paperwork. When you have a kid here, you need to do all your paperwork. Make sure you get all that done at the embassy, otherwise you're going to be in trouble, guys. There's a lot of things to consider when you come over here, and that's why I tend to ramble on, because I've seen so many things here. A lot of people come over here and think it's easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm going to say that again. It's not easy. It can be if you plan. If you plan, it can be the easiest thing in the world. And I planned for 4 years coming over here to get ready. Make sure you have some sort of iPad or computer or something that you can use over here so that you can talk to people back home. Get a Magic Jack, which has Magic app. That way there you can talk to people back home and talk to companies and emergency banks, government agencies back in the United States. God forbid you have to contact any of them, and you don't want to be spending $1 a minute using your phone over here. So make sure that you have all those apps or whatever you need on your phone. I would recommend downloading a good VPN too, even if you have to pay for it. Tunnel Bear is a good one. You have to pay for it. It's about $60 a year. I believe it's $6 a year. I could be wrong on that, but it's well worth it. Highly recommended, that you have some sort of VPN so it'll show that like you're in the United States or whatever. Also, talk to your banks before you leave. Big thing. You don't want to get over here and not have your ATM work. You have to usually call them once every year and let them know, that you're going to be in the Philippines, and they'll say, well, you have to call back in a year and let us know. Give them a paper, a document, okay? There's so much stuff that you have to do when you leave the United States that helps you get prepared for over here. Also, guys, the best time to leave is when you redo your license. Like if you have a license in the United States and you're keeping your address back there, or change it to your parents' address or sister or brother or something like that, or your power of attorney, so you can keep your license back there. And then when you come over here, get your Philippine license. It's pretty easy. You just have to flash your license, and you fill out some paperwork, and it takes you about half a day to a day to get your license, depending on which facility you go to here. Okay. These are all the things that you need to be successful over here. I don't recommend driving over here anyway. Like I have my license more as an ID over here than anything else. Okay. I do not recommend driving over here. It's very dangerous. A lot of accidents happen. It's dangerous even riding in a jeepney or a tricycle. But I mean, I think it's safe than doing it yourself some days, because they're used to it. You do get a couple of cowboy tricycle drivers every once in a while that are a little bit dangerous. They're new to the road, and they're very, very dangerous. Just tell them no more cowboy stuff. Knock off the cutting around cars and head on into traffic and stuff. Computers are a must over here for any expat. You want a good computer. I mean, if you have the money, I recommend people get a Mac. I always tell people to get a Mac, because if you have a computer over here and it starts going down, and Macs don't act up too much, and they have the Mac stores here you can go to, and I never have any problems with my Macs. I have the iPads, I have the Apple phones, and they all work together in sync and stuff like that, and they're just really, really good. I must say that I love my Mac. When you get here, if you have some feet on the ground over here already, somebody, a friend or something, have them try to find you a decent place to stay for at least a month, so you can find your permanent places that you want to stay. Okay, so you have a home base. You don't want to just come here and stay in a hotel. It's very expensive. In fact, you can probably save a month's worth of hotel fees and just pay $60 or $100 for a rental that's furnished. Okay, it might not have AC, but buy a fan for $10-20 or something like that, and at least you'll be cool at night and you'll be fine. It's only a month, before you're all ready. And when I got here, I put AC in my house immediately. That's the thing. It's important here. I've mentioned this also. I did a video on it about foodborne illness. You're gonna get sick here, guys. When you get here, get some anti-diarrhea pills, because you are going to get sick. Really, really, really sick. And when you do get sick, you're gonna be remembering what I said. You really will. Because the first year I was sick almost, I'd say about 50 to 60% of the time I had some sort of distress, stomach distress from foodborne illness and stuff. And then after a while, your body just kind of builds up an immunity to it, and it kind of goes over. It doesn't totally go away, but it gets down to like about 10% maybe. Okay, you still get foodborne illness and stuff like that. Medicines. Make sure you take your meds, guys. Make sure you come with like a 90-day supply of meds if your doctor will give those to you. Or when you land on the ground, get all your meds here when you get here, okay? Make sure they're meds that are allowed in the Philippines. Some pain meds are not allowed here, okay? So if you come here with those, I'm not sure which ones, but I've heard that some of them are not allowed in the Philippines. So make sure you check on that they're allowed here. There's not too much else. There's a lot of stuff to go into here, and I'm sure I'm missing some stuff here. The biggest thing I can say is to be successful here is cash. Cash is king here. You know, you have a lot of cash here, you can get a lot of things done. You're gonna need, I recommend you bring $10,000 with you, just along with whatever your pension is, just for things that you're gonna buy for your house or whatever. If you plan on staying in one area. For you guys that are plan on traveling around a lot and not staying in one area a lot, then you can get away with a lot less than that, okay? But I mean, you know, some places, some landlords require the first and the last. You can get a deal if you cut a deal with your landlord for a year, but make sure you like the place first. Don't lock yourself in on a lease until you've been there for a little while. And also, things can change, guys. I mean, somebody moves in next door and they got a rooster and 5 dogs or something like that. You're not gonna want to live there anymore. You know, sometimes you can go over and make a deal with the people about the dogs, and they'll usually get rid of the dogs or something like that. And I do that sometimes just because they have a dog. They'll have one female dog, and it makes it difficult to live here because they have so many puppies, and they won't fix the dog, so the dog continuously has puppies. And I just walked over and told him, hey, listen, you know, can you do something about this dog, and I'll help you out or whatever, you know, and just give them a little bit of money. And sometimes they'll get rid of all the dogs, you know, and I don't know what they do with them. I don't really care, because as long as they're gone, because it makes it hard to sleep when you have dogs barking all night long every time a little mouse stirs in the woods or something like that, you know, or whatever. It just gets ridiculous. But you know, it just, everything over here for everybody is different. It depends on which area you go in, also how quickly you're going to succeed as an expat. Stay away from the dangerous areas. But the biggest things that like I said, I wanted to cover was the things about money, health, things like that. Those are the most important ones here. Setting up your house when you get here, you know, getting your electric bill, and your some of the places here require for Wi-Fi you have to pay a year in advance if you're an expat, or something like that, or 6 months in advance or something. You know, they want you to pay all in advance. So that's why I say you might need 10,000. So if you go to Converge or PLDT or something, some of these places are going to require you pay extra, unless you have it go through your girlfriend or something like that, which is different. So, but I wouldn't. Things happen with girlfriends sometimes, and you know, you break off. So get it in your name, guys. If you plan on staying there, you don't want things all in your girlfriend's name. Put it in your name. You know, seriously, put it in your name. Learn your lesson now. You know, unless you really trust your girlfriend, unless you really know that she's the right girl, I wouldn't put anything in somebody else's name. You know, until you know, unless it's your wife or something like that, then that's different. But I mean, a regular girlfriend that you just met or something like that, no, I wouldn't do it. There's too many people out here that they'll just leave you in a heartbeat once they see that there's no money train, you know. And I'm not saying all girls are like that. They're not, okay. But the ones that are out there that do it, wreck it for the good girls. And I would say 90% of the girls around here, 95% of the girls are decent. It's that 5 or 10% that are really bad, you know, because, and they're not really bad, they're just poor. They're just poor, but they're really bad as far as scamming people for money, or wanting money, or begging, and it gets to be a constant thing with people. They keep going from one person to another, just looking for money. That's all they're doing. The other 90%, 95%, they're fine. You know, you're gonna have the usual girlfriend problems and stuff like that. Some of them, there's too much drama and stuff. But guys, when you come here, make sure you take vitamins here. Vitamin C is very important in the Philippines. It's one thing that keeps me well here, I notice. And that, and vitamin D, it does prevent me from getting sick over here, and I highly recommend that too. The other thing, guys, is if you have like any stocks or anything like that, or any, any companies that you deal with, make sure you tell them you have two addresses. You're gonna have one American address and one Philippine address. Also, guys, taxes. If you're living over here permanent, you don't have to pay taxes in the United States. So if you're living here, if it's your first year, try to come here at the very beginning of the year if you can. That's just or at the end of like coming right after Christmas, but before New Year's, and just start your year off over here, because if you live over here for the whole year, you don't have to pay state taxes. Okay, but you'll have to pay federal, but not state. That's key. I know I'm just rambling here about a lot of these things because I'm trying to think of all these things as I go, and usually I'm up on it. I'm a little tired today, but anyway, yeah, taxes is a big issue over here. You don't have to pay state taxes if you live in here. You just tell them that that's your forwarding address if you have a forwarding address back there, okay? And make sure you tell your pensions that you don't want any state taxes taken out because you don't live in that state. That's just a forwarding address, and give them your Philippine address so they understand that, okay? When you get here, I highly recommend people get a visa here, and the retirement visa is a great visa if you can afford it. If you're a veteran, it's really cheap. Otherwise, it's a lot more expensive. There are other visa options. I'm not sure what they are. Some of them are marriage visa options, but there's are other ones, okay? You really got to research this, guys. I've heard about them. I've seen them. It's not something I deal with. I deal strictly with retirement visas, and if anybody needs help with retirement visas, I can give you that information. I can pass it along to you, and you can call the people and they'll help you. Okay, so if you message me on YouTube, I will help you with that. Okay, I'll be more than glad to help. If you're doing the retirement visa, the courtesy visa, then that's and you're a veteran, I can help you all the way through if you want, and help you do it. But I can help you with an agent, get an agent, and help you too. Okay, and I can tell you what the process takes, what to do, all that stuff. Okay, and it's pretty simple, guys. One of the things I recommend before you leave the United States is you take a white noise machine with you. Okay. If there's one piece of advice I can give you guys back home, a white noise machine is going to be the best piece of advice I could ever give you. Some people download a thing on their phone and they bring a little speaker with them, and that's fine, that'll work. But they sell the ones, they're like a round thing. They're put out by Shopper Image and several other companies. They make like a white noise sound, and they're excellent. Excellent. I actually have one going in the background on the other side of the room right now. You might be able to hear it a little bit, I'm not sure. But anyway, guys, that's about it. If any of you guys have any other questions or can think of anything else you want to add or anything like that, just add it in the comment section, okay? And that's about it. I'm gonna try to, if I come up with any more, I'll do a part 2, okay? But be sure to like and subscribe, guys. If you can think of anything else you'd like me to do a video on, just be sure to ask in the comment section. I'll probably do it if I like it and it's a decent, subject that I'd like to do, and I'll research it for you. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.